Well, and I think there's an advantage of doing things later in life is because you're not as attached to when I think when you mentioned about young kids, they're having to make ends meet or create a family and then still try and pursue a artistic endeavor. So they're kind of counting on, it's just when times are slow, it's really tough for younger people.
And mom didn't care, but she was letting me read things that were above my age group. And,
Hmm.
there were people that knew she was allowing me to read these things, and she was like, she can handle it.
Yeah.
She has to learn somehow that these things happen in life,
Yeah.
and we talk about it at home. We talk about what happens in
Right. In the
in
books.
people's lives and from the
Right.
books and how it relates to real life. And
Hello, and welcome to Story Power, a bi monthly podcast I created because I'm an unabashed story lover. Stories have had a huge impact on my life, starting with the family movie night discussions my parents instituted when I was a child. I want to share that love with you. As cognitive scientist Roger C. Shanks says, humans are not ideally set up to understand logic. They are ideally set up to understand stories. I'm making it my mission to not only spread the love of stories, but all the valuable things they teach us about human nature and relationships. We humans are emotional creatures, and stories help us examine our emotions from a comfortable distance. They also help us walk in the shoes of the characters to help us see the world in new ways. It's my hope you gain some valuable insights from my guests.
Hello, Story Power listeners. Today is Charleen Phelps is my guest, and it is episode 134. And Charleen has been both a nurse and a filmmaker, which I'm very interested to hear how those two things happened. So, Charleen, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
So you said when you sent me your bio, I was reading it, and it said that you had been a nurse for 40 years in the mental health field. And how did you
Yes.
move from that to filmmaking? Or maybe you were doing both at the same time.
Yeah. Well, so I've had a very interesting career. I've always done really different things. So nursing lent me to be able to do that. My family was a broadcast family, and we were a whole family of storytellers. We loved to hear other people's stories. We told stories. That's kind of how we, shared information and shared fun things.
Uh-huh.
So in the area of mental health, you hear so many people's stories. So that's, I think, why I became a storyteller. So I started off with writing. Uh, I did a number of plays and worked on a novel. So, and done a bit of acting, but sort of as my kids were growing, I continued on with my nursing career.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then after I left that, I did some education on dementia care. And then we started doing more improv things in our workshops. And then I started back into doing my writing again.
Oh.
And I thought, well, the way to do that would be to do some short films. So
Mhm.
that's how that started.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's interesting. So let me clarify this. You were using stories to help the dementia patients?
Well, I think what not in a specific way, but in a way
Oh,
of understanding people's stories, just the understanding the power
oh,
of story. So, and
yes.
connecting with people, often you connect with their story, who they are in the
Right.
world, what their experiences have been, and
Yeah.
maybe to remind them of their stories and who they are.
Oh.
So, in that way. And then I worked with a lady named Teepa Snow, who's an American from North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
and I did some education with her. And a lot of that was, improv and teaching.
Ah.
And also, we did a play called A Gem's Journey. And so I wrote that play with them, and it looked at explaining someone's journey from a beginning stage to an end stage of dementia. So we presented that play. And so
Wow.
those kind of teaching methods, I think, are helpful as well.
Yeah. Now you live in Canada, right?
Yes,
Yeah, British
British
Columbia.
Columbia in Vancouver.
Oh yeah, I was engaged to a guy once, way long time ago, who lived in Vancouver. So that's cool. Now when you did your play, did you do like uh don't they have a workshop kind of thing? Is it in South Carolina or North Carolina?
North
Where they
Carolina
where which Carolina was it?
was North Carolina, where Teepa Snow is.
North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's someplace in the South they do like workshop where you can workshop your play and perform it and get audience
Oh,
feedback.
right.
Did you do that kind of thing?
No, that was when we presented it in a conference kind of situation where we presented interaction that didn't go so well, and then did another interaction that was a better way to do it, and then had audience feedback and talk. So that was an educational thing. But I did a number of other short plays through the years,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm presently working on. We just completed 2 short films. We shot 2 short films in 2 days here
Oh,
in
whoa.
Fort Moody. And then now I'm working on a play that I wrote that was presented in, that was put up in Ontario. And so we're doing it now here in Vancouver. So
I
busy, busy, busy with lots of stuff.
wow, really? It sounds like it. Now, I have a lot of listeners who are authors, and other creative people. And I have talked to some people who are in the film industry, but I never asked them this question. So, what is the process of creating a film from like beginning to end?
Okay. The one thing that I have written a number of screenplays that were optioned and never done, and they were full-length screenplays, like a
Ah,
90-minute film.
mhm.
Those are a little more difficult because, with financing and everything else. But with a short film, I'd never experienced short films a lot until I started watching them. And they're
Oh,
really interesting because you've got in 10 minutes or under 20 minutes, you've got a complete story.
ah,
So basically, what you do is you have an idea for the story, you write out the script of how you're going to see
mhm,
things unfold, and
mhm.
then you bring on other people to work with. So this case, I have another short film that I did called Remnants. It's actually up on YouTube right now. That was
Uh-huh.
one of the first short films that I did. And the fellow that I worked with for Remnants, his name's Siddhartha Murjani.
Oh,
So him and I worked together again, and we did these 2 short films.
mhm.
So we got our crew together. You have to get a director and then a whole raft of people to come on board. Now, the other thing is you have to have money set aside to do this.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get grants and things, but we had set some money aside. And so we thought we would pool our resources and do 2 short films in 2 days. And then you have the same director and your first AD and your gaffer and your all the people
Yeah.
and your camera people. So it worked out
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah. And when you do these short plays, what kind of costuming and things do you use?
Well, we would gather sort of people, you figure out what your character would be wearing, and there's costume people who
Mhm.
design that. But we sort of had ours was first one is an interior shoot of a police interrogation room. And so we just had, detectives wear their suits,
Yeah.
and you have to get the badges and all
Right.
that sort of stuff, and they
Right.
have to wear their weapons. And so you
Yeah.
have to put all those things. And the other piece of it is we had a really good script supervisor. And the supervisor makes sure everything there's continuity and you're doing the
Mhm.
same thing each shot, with your movement. So it makes it a little easier for editing.
Yeah.
And so he's watching for all those kinds of things.
Oh, that's cool. And then do you do the editing or do you have an editor?
No, no, that's definitely not in my skill set. I don't understand the equipment. I'm sort of the creative person. Both Siddhartha and I acted in these as well.
Uh-huh.
So trying to concentrate on your acting and then was directing, but the filmmaker, we had a really good uh, cinematographer named Jeff Webb. And so he shot all the film, and then he's going to be doing all the editing for us too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Do you sit there
Yeah.
though and help with the editing? Say, oh yeah, this shot, no, not that.
Yeah, what
Or
they do is he puts together, because that's his expertise. He will put together some, like, a rough cut, sort of an
oh right,
idea of
yeah.
where things are, and then you see it, and then you can nitpick.
Tweak it, tweak it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but you didn't direct this. You had a director.
No, I directed it as well. So I
Oh,
directed the one the Cup of Tea is the first one, and then
uh-huh.
Siddhartha directed, and we were both in them. So we kind
Oh
of did
yeah.
everything. And that's
Oh
kind of
wow.
what you'll find. You'll find people on these indie productions, whether they're features or shorts, that it's just a community effort, and people do it because they love film.
Yes, and then do you take them to film festivals or do you just
Film
let them?
festivals, yeah, film festivals, and then there are some people who will um distribute some short films, like sometimes on an airplane or something. They will So you just have to try and figure out where you can
Yes.
distribute, or even just to get something up and out there. With there's so much on internet now that people are seeing, that the whole scope of this has changed so much.
Right, yeah, it has. Man, though, that's the part that must be hard is finding outlets for your films.
Yes, yes.
Is is that part of the producer's job or does somebody else do that?
Yeah, so as part of the producer, your responsibility
Mm.
in sort of finding where it's going to go and
Yeah.
what's the best use of it.
And so how many have you done now? How many small short films have you done?
So I've done several plays, but the short films, I've done one called Remnants, which is now up on YouTube, and
Yes.
then these two. So these two are
Oh, oh,
that's the hat trick.
oh yeah. Can you, this might be hard, but can you transfer your plays to film?
Yeah, and it really depends, because depending on the length of them too. So your average
Mm,
screenplay is going to be, say, like 90 pages for a feature film. They're
mhm,
shorter, well, unless you're Martin Scorsese, and then you could do whatever you want. But usually they're shorter. So it depends on the length of it. You can do short, one act plays as well. Like the one Cup of Tea, this is it's about a woman who finds herself in police custody after an incident with her husband. So the
mhm,
question is she befuddled or is she brilliant?
mm.
So that's about 9 minutes, 10 minutes. So that
Mhm.
could be done. You could do that as a play as well. It's
Yes.
just how you shoot something, or how you block something for stage.
Right. Yeah, when I was teaching acting, my background is in theater. When I was
Hmm.
teaching acting, I would get these short little 10-minute plays, and they would do them instead of a scene, usually.
Hmm.
Uh, because that was easy, because it was a whole story.
Yes.
If they took a scene from a bigger play, sometimes it was harder for them to get it, even though they
Yeah,
read the
because to find the
play.
context of it. Yeah. To
Right.
find
Yeah.
and to be in the moment. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there are lots of those out there, lots of
Yeah.
10-minute plays.
Yeah. And
I'm no
lots of
longer
10-minute play festivals too that people have. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. And some of them were really great.
Hmm.
They were fantastic. So I'm no longer teaching. I'm retired now, but yeah, I gave all my 10-minute playbooks to my successor because he helped me when I was before I retired. And he's a theater professional, so he also knows a bunch of playwrights and
Hmm.
plays and stuff. So yeah, and he's a director and an actor and stage manager and all that. So and now he runs the community theater here in town.
Nice.
So he and another theater professional, which is so great because, the town the town that's north of us, about 20 miles north of us, uh, it's not super large. I mean, it's maybe I think it's around 50,000 inside the city limits, but there's a
Hmm.
lot of outside the city limits. So it's nice that we don't have to drive an hour and a half up to Tucson to see some plays.
Yeah. Well, it's nice for the community. Community theater is great too.
It is.
It's nice to have theater and have a live performance. I mean, film can do such fantastic things. You look at Marvel and everything else that
Yeah.
they can do, but there's intimacy of theater, which is
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes. And we do have another improv group, and there's a town that's even farther north of Sierra Vista that has a theater company too. So it's like, oh, we have this wonderful group of, theater here and improv groups and stuff. So people don't have to drive to Tucson if they don't want to. So
Mhm.
that's nice. Because, Barry and I've lived here, let's see, it's almost 30 years we've lived in Arizona. And we used to have season tickets to the Arizona Theater Company, but we would do it on a Saturday. We'd leave it like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon and go up, eat dinner, then go to the play, and we'd get home about 1 o'clock in the morning, And that's kind of a long
It is. The
day.
older you get, the longer it seems.
Really. I mean, the plays were fantastic. I
Mhm.
can't fault them because they were fantastic. But yeah, it's just got to be. And I was still teaching at that time in Douglas, which is an hour away from our house. So, it'd take me all Sunday to recover from going up to Tucson to see that play. And I still
Yeah.
had grading to do and all that kind of stuff too. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, I
yeah.
certainly noticed that, after doing these 2 shorts in 2 days, so that was like filming about 20 something pages in two
Oh
days.
yeah.
And at a film school, they'll tell these new filmmakers, yes, well, you'll only be doing 3 to 5 pages a day, but then you get to the real world, right? So
Right.
we were pretty tuckered by the time we were done,
Yeah, and
but
how
it
long?
was a great shoot. So that was probably about 12-hour days
Oh yeah.
anyway. But I mean, I thought we did pretty good to get it in the 12 hours. There's a lot of stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
people were great. It's a great community fun thing to do.
Oh, really? That does sound fun. And were they both all like one location?
We had 2 locations. So we used actually the activity room in our condo unit, and we built some flats and we
Uh-huh.
made it into a police interrogation room.
Uh-huh.
So that was the one interior scene, and that was called the one that was called A Cup of Tea. And the other one is called The Phone of the Wind. And there is a park right across the street from us. So the next day, we just moved everything to the park and shot the second one in the
Ah.
park.
But each movie or film was one location. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, each was one. Yeah, each was one location, so we didn't have to
So
to chase about.
yeah, you didn't have as many setups to do,
Yeah.
really. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. So you're not really retired. You're like me, you're doing all this fun stuff that you enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just now that, not doing sort of other work, you can free yourself up and be creative. I guess that's what I wanted to do, spend time
Yeah.
to be creative and write. Writing, I mean, I do act and I do direct. I love all those things. I also help my son who has a theater company called Moving Mirror Productions, which does musical theater for young performers, grades 4 to 8. And so last year, we did Moana, the year before Frozen. So he's been running for about 10 years. So I do some acting coaching there. So that's really fun. And now that he's been going for so long, we've seen some of the performers go on in theater, which has been really nice to
Oh,
see.
that
So
is.
doing creative things is what I like to do,
Yes.
especially write. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my hat is off to him. I did a production of The Wizard of Oz in Bisbee. One of the music teacher wanted to do it for her daughter's school, but she didn't know how to direct, so they got me, and we had some college students doing the Wicked Witch of the West and the Good Witch,
Oh
and
yeah.
those
Yeah,
kinds
yeah.
of things.
Nice.
Uh, but I think it ended up almost every kid in the school was in it, and it was like
Yeah.
200 kids or something. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, oh, my hat's off to him for doing that because I was exhausted at the end of every
Yeah.
every rehearsal. It was fun
Yeah.
though. Yeah,
It is fun.
just
Nice to see them for sure. And the
yes.
parents enjoy it and the kids enjoy it. And
Yeah, and isn't that great that he's planting these seeds and then some of them go off and that's their
yeah.
career? I just love that.
Yeah.
I always loved that with my high school and college students too. Because
Hmm.
I've had a high school student who I think he works in the film industry. uh, like as the assistant to the director or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, and then other college students have gone off to do things, and it's so great to see them do that.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's an advantage of doing things later in life is because you're not as attached to when I think when you mentioned about young kids, they're having to make ends meet or create a family and then still try and pursue a artistic
Mhm.
endeavor. So they're kind of counting on it's just when times are slow, it's really tough for younger people.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I'm not too bothered, you hire me, you don't hire me, I'm still okay.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's yeah, but it's hard for some of the younger people trying to make it in this business for sure.
Oh, it is. Oh my goodness, yes. And I've talked to actors who well, Dave and Dave, two Daves. One was a film actor and the other one's a theater actor. And man, it was hard. It's hard.
Hmm.
So Dave, the person who took over from me at the college, he did dramaturgy and stage managing and directing and acting. He did all
Hmm.
those so that he could always have at least something in
Yes.
the theater. And he also, taught classes and stuff. So yeah, that's hard.
Hmm.
So I understand. So, but it's great that your son is so successful. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. He's making it go of it. That's fun.
Yeah. Hmm.
And does he live in Vancouver too? Is that where the
Yes.
Hmm,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
Yeah. And he also teaches music. So yeah, it's yeah. So we were kind of a creative family. Yeah.
Yes. Now you said that you grew up in a creative family too.
Yeah. My father was a broadcaster in the early days of radio, or my grandfather was, and then my
Oh,
dad followed in his footsteps, had a long-standing radio show in Vancouver.
oh,
And then he moved and opened up some radio stations on Vancouver Island, which they thought he was insane because there was nothing out there. So that was sort of that old time radio.
yeah.
So I worked on and off at the radio station, but I was always, interested in nursing, and that was my career path. But I did help out. My son was not particularly interested in radio. He went into education and theater. But my daughter is a broadcaster. So, and she works in the interior of the province right now. So she's sort of kept up that family legacy.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
yeah.
But how did it go on Vancouver Island? I'm sure that they probably needed something because if they
In those
couldn't,
days, yeah, we're talking about the early 50s, right?
yeah.
And so it was the first radio station there. And in those days, I think it's because technology has changed so much, but in those early days of radio, it was about community, and you were the community radio station. And so it was always about, my dad used to say, it's about people talking to people
Mm.
and connecting with people. And that comes into this, the theme of the storytelling that I was talking to you about earlier
Right,
on, and
yeah.
connecting with people through their stories.
So it wasn't just music, but it was talking to people and it was the news and it
Yeah,
was a variety of things. Was
variety of
he
things.
was he the only one or did he have did they have shifts of people?
They had shifts of people,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
came in, and a lot of people got their first starts in radio,
That's
coming to a small station. So it was kind of fun. Always some,
yeah.
crazy stories from over the years, and
Yeah.
people, yeah,
That's neat. And then they went on to do
they
radio
went
and
on to do
bigger.
bigger things too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so cool. I love that nurturing thing about your family.
yeah,
That nurturing creativity. That's really cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so do you have any other projects that you're working on now that you're hoping to
Yeah,
get
the
done soon?
the play that I'm working on, that is going to go up in October. So we're just doing auditions now. I'm directing that. I'm not in it.
Mhm.
Um, thank heavens, because it's a lot being in something and doing it
Oh,
all. But yeah, so we're doing that. Plus, I'm working on a novel, and I have two other full-length screenplays that I'm trying to pitch. So yeah.
that is a long process.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't I keep getting these this is like the second one I got what this week was, "Oh, we want to make your book into a movie." And I'm like, "I'm not sure I want to do that." I mean, I think some of them are scams, but it's like,
Yeah, you
oh,
never know, right? It's yeah. But
yeah,
if you pay me X, Y, Z,
right,
as we say, you win.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I have not checked it out because I've been too busy uh scheduling podcast guests
Yes.
for the last couple of weeks. I belong to Podmatch and they help match you up with people to be on your podcast, or they match me up with people where I can be a guest.
Hmm.
And I have hidden my host profile for a while because last year I got so many, or it was in the end of 2023 actually. I got so many people that I had recorded them, and then a year later, their episodes coming out. I said, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to try and get it closer to when their episode
Yeah.
comes out. Uh, but so I just unhid it a couple of weeks ago, and I already have enough to go through May of 2026.
Wonderful.
So I had to hide it again because,
Yeah.
I don't want to have just Podmatch people. I want people like you too,
Yeah.
who find me somehow. So, yeah, that is
Yeah.
cool. Now, okay, so going back to the two movies that you just filmed, are you going to try and put them into some uh festivals next year?
Yeah, so as soon as we get everything done, it'll be a few months because now we need to, get the editing done, and then there's the sound editing and
Mhm.
so music and all that stuff. So once we get the film complete and locked, then we will submit to film festivals. So Remnants, the film that we did before, was in a number of film festivals. We won a couple of awards, so which was great. And so we submitted. So it was in India, Italy, France. We had screenings in the United States.
And
One of the
what
big
film
film
was that? Because
festivals
you
here.
froze up. I'm sorry.
Remnants, it's called, and
Uh-huh.
you can find it on YouTube actually if people are interested
Yeah.
in watching it. It's under Wings of the Wind Productions, and the film is called Remnants. You can find it.
Okay. And so you were at a lot of film festivals.
Yeah, so we didn't get to everyone, but we got to some. And so we were pleased with how that turned out. I mean, you always learn from each project. So,
Yeah.
and then this one, so we'll do the same thing. We'll submit to various film festivals, and then you just see who accepts you. And then I'm not sure where our premiere will be, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
we'll figure that out.
Yeah, how long does it take, or when do you start applying to be in the film festivals?
So
What
they
time
all
of
come at
year?
different times. Yeah, so all
Oh,
through the year, and they all come at different times. So you figure
oh,
out what film festival you might want to be in, and then it'll give a date of when entries open. And
ah,
then they have a closing date, and then when their screening date will be. So
yeah,
there's so many that you can go. So it's all through the year. You keep submitting.
yeah. Oh, that's good. You don't have to do them all in one
Yeah,
fell swoop.
yeah.
Yeah. Now you said that you have written a novel. What is the name of your novel? Or have you
The
written more
novels,
than one?
no, I just have written the one. I'm working on it. I did a draft of it, and I wasn't as happy with it, so I'm doing it again. And it's called Over the Edge, and it's about a nurse who goes up against an abusive psychiatrist who she thinks has murdered her best friend. So in retaliation, he gaslights her, making people doubt her sanity, and then certifies her and tries to kill her.
Oh
So
dear.
thriller, that's what it is.
Whoa. And I hope that she wins in the
Yeah.
end.
Well, hopefully.
I don't want her to die. Yeah. Oh, wow. That sounds interesting. Now,
Mhm.
I'm assuming that that character, the terrible psychiatrist, has done this before her friend. He's killed other.
Yes, yes. He's not a great guy. He's not
Yeah.
one you'd want for your psychiatrist, just saying.
Yeah. But he has this
Mhm.
lovely exterior that,
The charmer, the
yeah.
charmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, wow. So, when do you think you're going to be finished with that book?
Well, I sort of have been waylaid with the other projects that
Mm,
I've been in. I had anticipated getting it done, but I should get a first draft in the next couple of months, I'm hoping. And then see whether I try and get it to a literary agent or self-publish. I did have a agent for my play and screenwriting, but unfortunately he passed away suddenly. So he was a great guy, and that was very disappointing. It was very sad. But yeah, so I'll just see how it goes when I get completed.
Oh, that sounds like something that happened to me. I had a couple of women who read my first novel and helped me shape it,
Hmm.
and then they both died, and so I've had to find some new people. Yeah,
Yeah,
fortunately, I get a lot of writers on Story Power. So
yeah, I bet.
I have a couple of people who can help me with that.
Yeah. So are you working on things now as well?
Oh yes, I have this podcast, Story Power. Then my
Hmm.
sister and I, in February, we started a YouTube channel called Classic Cinema with the Sage Sisters, and we pick
Hmm.
one film and just kind of take it apart and discuss it, and
Hmm.
hopefully people will go watch it. And we pick
Right.
films that have some relevance for today because people think, oh, classic films, that's then, and
Yeah.
they're not the same as what's going on now. Well, we've found several.
Hmm.
And so I publish that every other Wednesday. Story Power one Wednesday, Classic Cinema the other Wednesday. So, and then I'm working on a novel too, which I'm trying to finish the first revisions. And But I also belong to Prolific Writers Life, and I have a couple of events that I do for them. One's Films for Writers, where we watch films that are about the writing process or
Oh
writers
yeah.
and their life and what happens to them. And then the other one is about how to promote your book as a podcast guest.
Nice.
So, uh, yeah, that I'm doing all of that, and then uh, I'm trying to be retired sometimes too.
Yeah. What is your genre?
You mean of book? It's kind
Book.
of a magical realism book.
Oh
It
yeah.
has two timelines. One's in the past, one's in the present, and the women are connected by blood. It's three
Hmm.
times great grandmother, granddaughter.
Yeah.
And they the granddaughter found her three times great grandmother's journals. She also has one by her three times great grandfather that she reads periodically. But when she reads those, she goes into their consciousness
Neat.
instead of time traveling her physical body. And
Right.
so it's kind of nice because when she comes back, no time has passed and she doesn't have to
Past.
explain anything to anybody.
Good.
But they help each other, Her
Nice.
three times great grandmother becomes aware that she's got this presence with her, kind of supporting her and helping her.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so the three times great grandmother goes on the Oregon Trail. I happen to be an Oregon Trail descendant on both sides of my
Hmm.
family.
Oh wow.
And Yeah, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and um, and that's how I became engaged to the
You
guy
just
from
you just
Vancouver.
about became a Canadian.
I almost became a Canadian, yeah. And Yeah, so that was kind of fun relearning about the Oregon Trail and all the trials and
Hmm.
tribulations and where they go to resupply and things
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, and the second one is a sequel, and it's that both women are involved in their respective women's movements.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's where I am now, and yeah, I'm having fun. And you're having
That's it.
fun doing your
We're
creative
having
things.
fun. That's the main thing,
It
especially at this
is.
stage of life. Well, any stage of life, I think.
Yeah, really. Do what, yeah, because I think my parents worked at jobs that brought in money, but it wasn't necessarily they didn't really love them, you know.
Hmm.
And I admire that they stuck with it for so many years, but it would have been nice if they could have done jobs that they really loved
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Life is short.
it is. It is short. Yes. Do you have anything else you want to share that I didn't ask?
Um, I can't think of anything in particular. I mean, as being a certain age, you got all kinds of stuff you've done. Like I said, nursing was good to me because I was did for mental health, forensic nursing, geriatric nursing. I was also a coroner, death investigator for a while, all those things. So those all were the great fodder for writing.
Yes. Oh, well, that's the corner part. That's kind of fits in with your book that you're writing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I am so happy that we finally got together and that you had
Yes, I
so much.
appreciate it.
I do too. I'm really glad. And thank you so much for being my guest.
All right. Thank you. And all the best to you as well.
Same to you. I hope you get those two movies into some festivals.
I hope you not only enjoyed this episode, but gained something valuable to take away with you. If you like what you heard, please share it with your friends and give us a rating and/or review. If you're a story lover too, I invite you to join my Patreon community at patreon.com/storypower, all one word. Or you might be interested in classic cinema with the Sage Sisters, a YouTube channel and Facebook page I started with my sister Celeste, where we choose one classic movie that we think still has lessons for us today. As you can see, I'm passionate about spreading the love of stories and completely believe what Philip Pullman said. After nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the thing we need most in the world. Until next time, this is Lucinda Sage-Midgorden. Thanks for listening.